Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to give you some tips and tricks on how to drive a Class A RV. If you are not a Class A RV owner, this still may be worth the watch, as you can understand some of the etiquette and some of the hurdles that truck drivers and RV owners go through. So the first thing we're going to talk about are some of the things we monitor while we're on the road. We've got our brake system, which tells me what's going on in my vehicle in the back that we're towing. If it becomes disconnected or anything happens back there, that's monitoring that. I've got a tire pressure monitor up here. That monitors all the tire pressure on all six wheels and tires on the RV, as well as 4 on the Jeep. And then I've got my phone here that's got navigation. Now, while I do use that for navigation, the more important part that I like about this is that if there's a slowdown or there's an accident, this is going to alert me, hey, in 5 miles, traffic may be stopped up there. Now, the other beauty of sitting in a Class A or a truck is looking out forward. We sit about the same level as a semi-truck. So, if I were to change lanes here, you'd be able to see, you can see a great distance ahead. So we've got the advantage that you can see what's going on long before it actually happens, which leads me to my next situation. Generally speaking, on a 3-lane road, you're going to find me in the center or the right lane. For one, that's law. If I'm going to pass, I'll try and pass in the center lane. If I have to pass in the left lane, I will. On a 2-lane road, you'll find me mostly in the right lane unless I'm looking to pass. So one situation is, if I've got a stalled car on the right and I'm trying to get over to the left, it's law in most all states to move over off that shoulder or off the lane that is adjacent to the shoulder, whether it's a tow truck or a stalled car or whatever it is. Multiple times what happens is the people in that left lane don't want to let me in because obviously I'm a slower moving vehicle and they think I'm going to ruin the rest of their day if I get in their lane. But a lot of times, if say that person is behind me and I've got a stalled car up there, the way everything is they don't see the stalled car and they don't know why I want to get over. So by the time I do get over, I've actually had people flick me off, like, why'd you get over? And then when they do pass, they still don't see that stalled car. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, if I'm in the left lane, and this holds true for truck drivers, there's always exceptions. If I'm in the left lane, it's because I'm trying to pass, there's a situation, and I'm not going to stay there. I'm going to make my move, I'm going to do what needs to do to get around the situation, and I'm going to come back. So I may slow you down for 30 seconds, but it's trying to do what's safe on the road. As you look forward now, you can see that I can see over all the cars. I mean, I can see past that viaduct down there. I can see what's going on. So if I'm going to move lanes, generally speaking, it's because I can see something that maybe even the car that sits lower cannot see. And I would say that's same with truck drivers. So give us the etiquette of just let us in. I promise I'm not going to stay there. I'm going to do what I need to do, and I'm going to get over. So the other thing that you'll see is, if you go to pass a vehicle, now we're towing our Jeep behind us. I can't see that Jeep in any of my mirrors. The only way I even literally know that Jeep is back there is because I can see it on my camera. Now, when I go to pass a vehicle or a truck, and you'll notice this mostly with semi-trucks, and you try and reciprocate with them, but as you pass it, and it's safe to come back into that lane, either they'll flash their brights, or they'll turn on and off their headlights, or they'll give you some sort of indication that, hey, you're safe, you're passed, you can come over. Now, not everyone does it, and this mostly happens at night. But if you're ever driving and you see a truck driver flash their headlights, they're indicating to that person who passed, hey, it's safe for you to come back in my lane. And then generally what you'll see is you'll see the truck driver or the RV or whatever, they'll turn on their hazards as a thank you. So if you ever see that on the road and you don't know what that is, that's a, hey, you're welcome to my lane, and they reciprocate with a thank you. So if you are a car and you're letting a truck into the lane, slow down for 30 seconds, be their guy, let them in, flash their lights, and at that point you can move on and go around them if you need to, but giving them that extra 10 seconds of your day makes a big difference. One thing I want to talk about is how some people are very overwhelmed when you sit in the front seat and you're driving. If you look out the front, you've got this huge, massive windshield, and it's hard to necessarily know how to place the RV in the lane. There's a ton of videos online I've seen, and I've actually seen where people will put painter's tape or they'll put dots on the bottom of the windshield to where you can line up the lines so you know how to center your RV. I'm not a driving ed teacher of any sort, but I don't like that for a few different reasons. But when you first start driving, you have to understand in your peripheral, it's gonna feel like you're either completely hanging over this lane or you're completely hanging over that. It feels like you own all 3 lanes of the road, or 2 lanes, or whatever it may be. It's almost the center of the windshield is where that lane indicator comes through. So in my peripheral, I could see that the center of that lane is almost hitting that center post on the windshield. Now, again, here it's about 8 inches in. So I've seen again where people put a piece of tape or a mark on the windshield. The problem I have with that is I feel like those people are focusing more on what's going on right here, and that's a good way to get yourself into some trouble because you're focused on what's here, and what's here, by the time anything happens here, it's way too late. One thing I learned in driver's ed, and it's something that's always stuck with me, and it works very well, is if you can't center your vehicle in your lane, you're looking too close. You always want to be looking 5 seconds down the road. And what does that mean? Pick a mark and count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where you should be looking. That's where your eyes should be looking. If your eyes are up there, this all falls into place. If you can't get that RV centered into your lane, you're looking too close ahead. You're looking down here. And so that's why, in my opinion, I don't like the method here of using the tape on the windshield, because I feel like that trains you to focus here, and that's going to get you into some trouble. We just had a situation where we had this vehicle come in and you don't know what he's going to do. So the other thing as an RV driver or truck driver is I leave this space. If you look how much space I have between me and the car in front of you, and this is even more importantly in probably like stop and go traffic, but that space is for me to stop. That's my emergency space. So what'll happen is you'll 9 out of 10 times, like, so I'm already watching this guy because he's got his signal on, but you know, is he gonna come into that space and try and go forward? Now I understand he's faster than I am and he can squeeze in here and go forward, but this space in front of me is my safety zone. If I needed to stop, that's what that is. So if you want to get around us, totally fine. Again, you're going to normally find me in the center or right lane, but don't come right in that space. Go forward some more. Again, that's our safety zone, and it's really scary, and I've had it happen a few times, especially motorcycles. I've got motorcycles that come right in here. This area in front of me, you could hide 2 or 3 motorcycles in there if they were close enough, and it's actually happened. So again, if you're driving, not in a truck or an RV, give us some space, leave this room for us here. That's our safety zone. You're making your lane change, check your blind spots. There's a ton of blind spots. You could have a car right down there and never see it. So I've got my mirrors adjusted properly. I check my camera, I check my mirrors, I check my bottom mirror, and I do everything I can to ensure that there's no car in that blind spot, because you could literally hide a small car right there and never see it. Here's another perfect example. I'm slowing down to let this car in and just completely takes its time. You guys, when you're merging, if you see a truck or RV slowing down, that means they're letting you in. The pedal on the right, you don't merge at 40 miles an hour, and then I've actually had it happen where the RV, you try to stop, and then that car tries to stop, and you both end up like this, and it's no good. So when you're merging, just remember, we can't speed up and we can't slow down very fast. So we're always watching. We're watching you come in. If we're slowing down, take the space and go with it. So hopefully these few tips and tricks help you, whether you're navigating around other trucks and RVs or you own a Class A RV. These will definitely help make your ride a little more fun. So as always, like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video.